This post-it right here tells me how many companies have laid how many people only in tech in 22, in 23, and 24. Let me tell you these numbers. In 2022, 1624 companies have laid off more than 165,000 people. In 2023, 1,192 tech companies laid off over 263,000 people. In 2024, which has been what we're in April right now, 259 tech companies have laid off over 74,000 people already. Now it comes to the question that is it even worth it to come to the US when the job market is this bad? And we don't know if the job market is going to go bad because we have an election year coming up, and there's going to be fights between President Trump, or ex-President Trump, and Joe Biden, and they will be fighting amongst themselves and seeing who wins. So, question comes up, right? Is it worth spending $40,000, $50,000, or even $100,000 for a US education when the market is this bad? Let me answer all those questions and tell you why US might not be the best option for you in 2024. US has been a great market overall. If you look at the 10-year average, the market has been good. People great salaries. US dollar is always strong, so you're able to save a lot of money. And there's a huge influx of Indian internationals coming into the US and getting tech jobs, becoming CEO of top companies, growing to a really high position at different tech companies or even non-tech companies for that matter. But you might be considering like, hey, should I be going in fall 24 or not? One of the biggest reasons why people don't like the US is because of their green card program, because of their work visa. As an international student, if you're planning to do your master's here or your PhD here, you get 1 year of OPT, 2 years of STEM extension, and 3 years of H1B visa. Essentially, you're getting 3 years of work visa without even going into the H1B lottery. Then, if you do end up getting selected in the H1B, you get 3 years of visa, plus you can extend it for another 3 years if you get your green card like approved. You don't get the green card, you just get in the line for green card, then you can extend your H1B again and again. That means you have unlimited number of work visa. A lot of people used to get green cards before 2012 very easily. The wait time was not that long, and it was just comparatively easier. Not right now. Right now, if you are somebody on H1B visa, it will take over 136 years for you to get green card. So you'll die first before anything will happen. And from what it looks like and from talking to people from USCIS, it doesn't look like anything's going to change when it comes to the H1B. That's the first reason. So if your main motive is to move your family, if your main motive is to immigrate into a different country and stay here forever, US is not a great option for you. Second thing, you don't want to be so far away from your family. US, the shortest flight between India and US is 16 hours right now. Even if you fly from New Delhi to New York or you fly from Bangalore to San Francisco, it's 16 hours flight. That's a long time for your parents. That's a long time for you. In case you have to travel to India even once a year, it becomes a chore. It is not, you lose 4 days of a holiday just because of all the traveling. And if you're considering, and if you're very close to family, if you're considering, I would consider countries somewhere in Europe, Middle East, Singapore, or Southeast Asia. Even Australia is somewhat closer than the US. But I would consider countries like Singapore or Dubai or any country in Europe where the flights are 10 hours or less. Third point, let's say you don't want to settle in the US, but you want to settle somewhere which is closer to India, even after you do your graduation. That means Europe is a great option because the flights are only 10 hours or less. Or, Iceland is a great option for a lot of tech people right now. Australia is becoming a better option because the PR is easy. And if you do want to come to the North Americas, Canada is also a great option if you do want to end up in the US for long term. But the only problem with Canada is the job market in the US always affects the job market in Canada, and Canada is very, very saturated with a lot of mediocre talent. Like higher talent will always end up getting jobs, but a lot of mediocre talent is there, which those people are not getting jobs. Plus, they're not making as much money. Fourth point, let's say you're running a side business, you already have a business in India and you want to continue doing that business when you move to the US also, or when you move to a different country. Europe is a great option for that, and Canada is also a great option for that because they allow you to run your own business, and allow you to run side hustles while you're even in college. There is a friend of mine. He is in Canada right now. He's a photographer. He didn't wanted to lose all of that income which he was making from photography, even though he was coming for a photography class or a photography course. What he did was, instead of choosing US, he went to Canada, and he's doing a successful business right now where he's making all of his money through photography. Same thing in the UK. There's another friend of mine went to UK for photography, and he's actually booking a lot of gigs right now in the UK, and not have to worry about all the visa shenanigans. And the fifth and major reason why US might not be the option for you this season is because the market is not good. The market was good in 2022, even though the numbers here on the posted note says that 1,000 plus companies laid off 165 people. So first half of 2022 was great, right? But the second half, a lot of companies laid off a lot of people. So the market is not good, and we don't know what will happen in 2026 or 2025 when you will be graduating. You just don't want that uncertainty, and that's why you're second guessing whether you want to come to the US or not, and that's why you've clicked on this video. I'll be making more of these videos, updating you on how things going to turn, and if they're turning for positive, they're turning for negative. I think a big reason for all of these layoffs was also AI. Even though humans are needed to actually make the best use of AI, AI was able to make you very productive, and was also able to like make you a super employee. Now you're able to do more because of AI. And all of these big tech companies integrating AI into their companies uh, led to all of these layoffs. Right now, not going to lie, a lot of people, a lot of students are actually struggling for internship. And I don't know if this is going to sustain into 2025 or not. It's too early to say, but my job is to keep you informed on what the reality is. Now, if you're coming to the top Ivy Leagues, if you're coming to top tier one, tier two universities, like you will end up with a job. And if you're coming from non-tech fields, the non-tech fields are still like thriving. It's the tech fields which are struggling a lot. So you need to decide whether it's the right time for you or not. And comment down below if I missed any factors, right? Maybe US is not the right option. There's other countries to go to. Let's see what other countries are there for you to consider. Thank you so much. Comment below what do you think. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.